Okay, I'll put something on Magic Bricks. So what happens? When you put the same on something like Magic Bricks, the entire world will get to know about it. Everyone will get to know about it, isn't it? Someone, if your customer is somewhere over there, even he will get to see what the stuff is all about. What is the property that you're selling? What is the neighborhood of the property? What is the size of the property? How many, how many bedrooms, how many, I mean, whatever that might be, he'll be able to get a more realistic understanding of how your property is, and probably he can reach out to you. So in this kind of scenario, when you place a listing in the online world, the entire world can see you, isn't it? So that's what we are talking about, the reach factor. Because for any business to survive and succeed, reach is important. Reach means to how many people it is visible. For example, everyone here knows Big Basket. Why? Because of the kind of reach that they have. Now if I talk about some other grocery company, you might not even know, only because they never reached until you. Okay, so reach is quite important when it comes to any business, not just online, even in the offline world. Reach is quite important. That's the reason why whenever a brand starts something, they do massive advertising so that it reaches out to more people, right? And the second one is the cost effectiveness and how economical it is, because people do not want to take extensive risks, especially they are starting something, isn't it? Now think about yourself. If I'll give you a choice, okay, let's start a departmental store, let's start it in a new sport, let's start it online with 10,000 investment, or let's start it offline with 10 lakh investment. What is the risk that you will take? The 10,000 risk or 10 lakh risk? Certainly the 10,000 risk, isn't it? Because even if you have some kind of learnings in this 10,000, and if you fail, it is still fine. But if it is 10 lakh failure, I'm sure it is a big thing for each one of us, isn't it? So the second thing is that it's very cost effective and economical. So anyone can start, anyone can take a risk there. Third, it's quick to launch and exit. Now, let's say you want to start a departmental store. How much time and money is essential there? I mean, you need to first look for the space. You need to ensure that the paperwork is done. You need to get the place revamped. I mean, do some kind of paintings and all this stuff. Then after that, you need to buy the stock and inventory. You need probably racks and all the infrastructure so that you can stock all this. You need to have a warehouse where you can store extra stuff. You need to have people. There are so many things tied up to it. Now let's say you're launching something like Big Basket. What do you need? An internet connection, a website, and maybe you have 2 delivery boys, so that you get an order, the delivery boys go pick it up and deliver it. Done. What if such kind of business fails? You can just tell them, we are sorry for whatever has happened, and give them, wish them luck for the future, isn't it? But think about a traditional setup, a huge departmental store failing. How much money is wasted? How much stock is wasted? Isn't it? You have to throw away everything, or you have to sell it at such a low price that you would get nothing out of it, right? Then how measurable it is. This is something that's very important for any kind of marketing. Why? Because before any brand wants to spend on marketing, they would certainly want to know how much they would be at least getting back. Isn't it? How measurable it is. So let's say you do for your departmental store, offline departmental store, you put a hoarding at the very popular junction in your city. Okay, so you have spent, let's say, 100,000 rupees for that hoarding itself. Now when people come to your store, how would you get to know whether they have seen that hoarding and they have come, or they have just come because someone referred or because it's neighborhood? Can you ask each one of them, did you see my hoarding and come here? Isn't it? You can't really do that. So how would you get to know what is the return on your 100,000 rupees investment? But now let's say you're doing a digital ad. You would get to know how many people clicked your ad. You'll get to know from where they have clicked, from which city they have clicked, which state they have clicked, which country they have clicked, what time they have clicked, how much time did they spend on your website, how many pages they have seen on your website. They can get to see each element, each activity of this. And not just that, you'll also get to see how many people have clicked your products, purchased your products also. Everything is so measurable that you will get to understand every penny that you have spent in the online world, is it making money or not? Okay, and then let's talk about the engagement factor. Even engagement is quite critical. Why? Because if you cannot engage with your customers, now let's talk about a restaurant. Let's say you're running a restaurant from the past 10 years. Okay, and let's say you are starting a new restaurant now. Is there some way you can communicate this message to all those people who had food this entire 10 years at your place? Do you have their name, email, and contact number so that you can communicate back to them? You're just preparing great food, inviting them, they are having, and they are going away. But what else is happening there? You are not building any kind of engagement mechanism so that you can communicate back to them tomorrow about anything. Now, think about a very small online home delivery service. Let's say Food Panda. Okay. Now, let's say Food Panda wants to let all their customers know that they have a new restaurant with a new tie up. Can they do it or not? And how easy it is for them, most importantly. Because every time you order from Food Panda, you are giving them your name, email, contact number, address, everything. And contrarily to the on the restaurant side, people have been eating their food from the past 10 years, but they do not even know how many customers come every day, how many customers come every year, how many customers are repeated customers, who is their best customer, who is their worst customer, what is the average order size last month or last year. They would never know all this because the customers themselves are not interested. Can you go to a restaurant who asks, sir, before we serve your food, please fill up this form? Is it practical? No way, isn't it? But in the same way, think about ordering a food from Food Panda. Can you order a food to your place without giving your name, email, and contact number? Is it possible? I mean, it's almost impossible. He would never be able to find out your home in that case, isn't it? So, because you give all these contact details when you make a purchase in the offline world, because of this, you'll have the customer's details with you. And how will that help? When you have your customer details with you, you will be able to communicate with them. Getting it? So you'll be able to communicate and interact with them. That is the advantage that you have when you have this. So once you are able to communicate and interact with them, you will be able to communicate your offers or meetings or anything as such. Okay, so this is one of the reason why all these big businesses, like all the online businesses like Flipkart, Snapdeal, whatever that might be, they keep in contact with their customers regularly, day in and day out, and they'll be able to communicate to them all their special offers or discounts or products or whatever that might be, isn't it? So that is how it really works. And then comes the customer loyalty factor. This is something that's really that's very important, because you just don't need a customer, but you need a customer coming again and again, isn't it? Someone makes a purchase and they never shows up again. How does it sounds like? You need people who come back and buy products from you again and again, isn't it? It's not that they buy your product for the first time and they never show up again. That doesn't really happen now, isn't it? So when it comes to customer loyalty, digital marketing has the greatest advantage, because you already give them their contact details. Not just that, they also connect with you via various other social networks like Facebook and Twitter and all this. So what happens via this? They constantly keep updating their customers about what is happening in their place. Let's say Apple is launching their new iPhone. Even before they launch the new iPhone, they spread the buzz into the market that we are coming up with something. We are working on some features, the new cam or whatever that might be, isn't it? By doing so, what happens? Customers will keep hearing about what is happening, and the moment Apple launches, people are waiting outside just to get that thing, get that new iPhone. Okay, so the same happens in the online world also. They ensure that they take your contact details, they build up a communication mechanism, and thereafter they keep in contact with you by sending out offers, discounts, everything in a timely manner. And what happens then? When you have your birthdays or anniversaries or anything as such, they throw some kind of discount coupons and everything, so that you always keep in touch with them. That means you come back and you shop something and you go again. This is what happens every time, and in almost all the online marketing companies. Okay, they ensure that they give a reason for their customers to come back to them, because the only reason is because they have all the details of their customers, which is required for communicating back to them, right? So while I was talking about this reach factor in my previous slide, if you can see this, that's what I have marked in bold and red, because reach is so important for any business to become popular and get into the market and be known to a lot of target audience. So we have identified some interesting stats. So how many years it would take for a business to stick on with a traditional medium and reach to 50 million users? Okay, this is quite interesting. If you really ask me, just have a look at it. So years to reach 50 million users by radio. Radio took around 38 years to reach to 50 million users. Okay, so if you were starting a business and you were at the time when radio was there, and if you wanted to reach out to 50 million users, it would take you around 38 years. The next comes TV. TV took around 13 years to reach to 50 million users. Okay, just 13. And then next comes the internet. So internet took around 4 years to reach to 50 million users. And then iPod took around 3 years to reach to 50 million users. Facebook added 100 million users in less than 9 months, right? And iPod application downloads hit 1 billion in 9 months. In just 9 months, they've hit 1 billion. And then most surprisingly and interestingly, speed to reach 50 million customers, WhatsApp in 2014 took 5 days for the same. So if you rely on a communication mechanism like radio right from start, it would have been taken you 38 years. That's almost like probably 2 generations, if you really ask me. And the smart internet businesses these days, probably if you use a medium like WhatsApp, you will reach to the same 50 million customers probably in 5 days. That's a fraction of what it takes for everyone else, isn't it? So I mean, we can really compare that. If you talk about, let's talk about some of the most popular brands, oldest brands. If you talk about, let's say, Coca-Cola. Okay, Coca-Cola is a pretty old brand. They started probably in mid of 18th century. So John Pemberton is the founder. He is a founder of it. So they came up with the Coke, and it's like probably, I mean, it's around 120 or 150 years old by now, Coca-Cola. And not just Coke. You talk about Ford, General Motors, Microsoft also you can take. All these companies, they took a lot of time until they could grow stronger and richer. But if you talk about one of the wealthiest companies in the world, it's Google. And we all know Google is almost with us. I mean, we grew up using Google. It's one of the most young generation companies. Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, PayPal. You'll talk about all these brands, Skype, whatever you're talking about. These are massively wealthy companies, but at the same time, they started very recently. So what took 150 years for Coke took probably 20 years for Google to reach the certain level. The only reason is because even Coke is a great company with strong, marketing foundation. They are into everyone's lives. In fact, it is such a great brand, but they didn't had a mechanism to reach out to the masses, to reach out to the crowd, to reach out to 50 million or 100 million or 500 million people. There wasn't a communication mechanism. But nowadays it's not like that. You can use the popular networks like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram. All these channels can be used to reach out to massive crowd at very less time. Okay, so steps to go digital. So I would be walking you through a few steps that are essential for any business to step into the digital world, right? So let's start. The first step is always the research. If some of you who are hearing this session, if you really care about starting up your business at some point of time in the online world, then do not neglect the research part. Research is very important. Why? Because you should create a product or service because the market needs it. Don't create a product or service because you're quite fascinated about it. This is a mistake that most of the people do. Getting it? So let me give you an example. Think about one of the most popular business models these days online. You might have some old furniture at your home and you want to sell it. What do? I'm sure many people might be thinking OLX by now, isn't it? Now think about how would you sell the same old furniture 5 years back, isn't it? Maybe you'll be using some newspaper ads or tell to your friends, isn't it? 5 to 6 years back. Think about how would you book your bus ticket tomorrow. You want to travel from Vijayawada to Bangalore or Guntur to Bangalore. How would you book your bus ticket? I'm sure Red Bus is in your mind. But how would you book a bus ticket 7 years back? Probably you're talking about agents, going to the bus station, standing in queue, booking a seat. Yes or no? Think about you want to buy a product. Now, okay, let's say I want a new earphone for my mobile. What would you do? Probably you can just open up Flipkart, Amazon, see the product, buy it, and probably in 2 to 3 days it will be there. Sometime back, you have to go out. Few years back, you have to go out and shop for it and you have to get it. So every successful online business that you're seeing these days has become popular only because it is attending the pain area of the market. They see that there is a customer need. They see that customer wants something and they are trying to attend it. They're not doing a business because they got an idea and woke up at the middle of the night and they bought a domain. It doesn't happen that way. If you have a great idea, everyone loves their baby, okay? Everyone loves their idea. There will be no one who would say, I have the stupidest idea ever. No one would say that. Everyone would say, I have the best idea. But if you want to take your idea to the next level, first thing is you got to know from the market. Market in the sense people, basically. Do they really need it or not? Okay, that is what we call research. I'm sure some of you might already be learning market research by now. So market research, you don't have to do it in a very exact bookish step-by-step method, but at least you need to go to the market and ask them, I'm planning to do something like this. Would you love to avail such kind of services or not? If they say yes, then probably you have to ask them, for such kind of services, are you willing to pay something or not? If they say no, I'm sure you wouldn't want to start such kind of business model. I wouldn't say exactly it doesn't work, but I would say most probably it wouldn't work, and most of the times it wouldn't work. Okay, now let's say the market says yes, we love such kind of service and I'm willing to pay some X for such kind of thing. Then the next step is about registering your domain and identifying a suitable web host, because your identity online is nothing but your domain name. Let's say you want to search for something and Google website is down. Can you search for it? Google website is not there. That means Google itself is not there. So if you want to create an identity in the online world, then you need a domain name for sure. It is your first step to it, right? And then find a suitable web host. Web host, we'll talk about it a little later. Web host is nothing but it is a place where you store all your information. Your domain name is just a name, like google.com, flipkart.com. So these are just domain names. So whatever you see after you go to Flipkart website is not on the domain name. It is stored somewhere. Just like your computer, you have all the shortcut icons on the screen. But if you delete the shortcut icon, the data is still there somewhere inside, isn't it? In the same way, the domain name is just a shortcut, or domain name is just a path to the source. That's it. The entire information that you see on the website, like images, content, videos, audios, whatever that might be, everything are stored basically in something known as a web host, or it's basically, long story short, it's a hard drive. That's it. Okay, this hard drive and the domain name are connected so that when someone types in the domain name, internet exactly identifies where the source of information is and it pulls out and it shows to the visitor. That is how the entire mechanism works. Okay, then analyze your competitors and keywords. So the next step is to understand from your competitors. When you start something all by yourself, okay, when you start something all by yourself, you'll be making a lot of mistakes because everyone has their own learning curve. Okay, but if you learn from your competitors, things will get much easier for you because they might have done all the mistakes already for you. All that you need to do is learn what kind of mistakes they have done. If you can learn what kind of mistakes they have done, you can avoid those mistakes on your website. Simple as that. Your business online, right? So for that reason, you need to analyze your competitors and then analyze the keywords also. Keywords are nothing but anything that you search on the internet are known as are keywords. For example, when you go to Google and let's say you want to travel from uh, Vijayawada to Bangalore, what is it that you do? You go to Google and look for bus tickets Vijayawada to Bangalore. So the search that you're doing, bus tickets from Vijayawada to Bangalore, is the keyword. It is a phrase. Okay, we call it keyword because key means important, word is the word. So these are important words that your most probable customer might search for to reach to your website. You need to know what they will search. This is very important because depending on the location and places, people search different kind of keywords. Let's say someone wants to learn digital marketing only. Okay, this digital marketing, someone can say it as online marketing, someone can say it as internet marketing. So people can use different kind of terminologies for the same. So as a business owner, you should understand what all keyword combinations, what all words people will use to reach to a business like yours. Once you're done with this, then you should go ahead with the design your website. And then the next step is find a suitable online payment gateway. Once you're done with this, identify a payment gateway. Payment gateway is nothing but something that puts you through a transaction. That means you want to buy something on Flipkart. After you throw it to the cart, the next step is what? You go to your payment gateway page where you give your credit card details and makes a purchase. Especially when it comes to the purchase behavioral trend in the online world, people look for something known as instant gratification. That means, oh, I liked it, let me buy it right away. If you say, okay, your product is booked for you, you pay it tomorrow, people won't come and pay it ever. Because when you go online, you like something, you want it at that point of time, you wouldn't want to come back again later looking for it. That usually do not happen. So that's why they provide nice and easy payment options so that they quickly finish off the payment methodology, payment mode, right? Once you're done with this, then you need something known as web analytics. Web analytics is nothing but a reporting mechanism which tells the user's behavior on your website. Now let's say your website is all ready, okay, and people come to your website and they are leaving. A lot of people are coming and they are leaving the website. How would you ever get to know what the problem is? There is a problem, right? That's the reason why people are coming and leaving. But how would you get to know what the problem is? That is where you need a suitable appropriate web analytics mechanism. This web analytics mechanism basically tries to understand what people are doing when they are coming to your website. Okay, people are coming, but from where they are coming, what kind of system they are coming, what kind of operating system they are using, what is the screen size, what is the browser, how much time they spent on your website, how many pages did they see, after coming to your website, how quickly they left the website. There are so many parameters that are required for you to know so that you can make your website much more appealing for them when they come next time, right? So that is known as web analytics. It is a mechanism. So we'll talk about each one of them. And while I'm talking all this, this is not so tough. This is not so tough. Everything that I'm talking about is pretty easy to understand and easier to execute. But the challenge here is, for example, let me talk about web analytics. It is very easy to set up web analytics, but it needs a lot of understanding to interpret the data. Let's say people come to your website and leave the website. They are not seeing much, too many pages. There are 70 pages on your website, but people are coming and seeing only 20 pages of the website. But why all the other 50 are ignored? So this is where your expertise comes into play. You got to understand that probably there is a navigation issue. People are not seeing more. They're not introduced to more pages. That is the reason why we are missing out on a lot of pages. So you need to rechange the navigation so that people are introduced to more pages. Okay, so this thought process is something which needs practice. Understanding, setting up web analytics and pulling out the data, that is very easy. In the same way, whatever I'm telling you, everything is easy, but the thought process is something that requires a lot of practice. Okay, so next one, then once it is done, then you need to start building website traffic in the sense it is a terminology for visitors. Okay, so digital marketing is all about this. What all we need to do so that my website will get lot of visitors coming back. Okay, so that is where we talk about search engine optimization, paid advertising, social media marketing like Twitter marketing, Facebook marketing, LinkedIn marketing, Instagram marketing, YouTube marketing. All these come into place. We are doing all these marketing activities so that visitor comes to your website. Okay, then the next step is increase the engagement. Now that visitors are coming to your website, now this is your chance to engage with them. Engage with them so that you can pull out their contact details. Why do you need this? You need this contact details so that you can establish a engagement mechanism. That's the reason why when you go to any website for the first time, they will say we are giving you 1500 rupees worth coupon if you are signing up, or 500 rupees discount voucher when you are signing up. They give you offers every time you get there. Why? Because they want that you should give your contact details to them, because they know that even if you do not buy now, maybe later you will come back if we constantly communicate with you. That is what they think, and that's what really works. So you need to increase the engagement, and once you are increasing the engagement, interact with prospects and customers via email. So once you get their contact details, you got to keep in touch with them via various mechanisms, in fact various methodologies. Out of them, email is the most viable one, because via email marketing you can constantly communicate to them. Okay, and finally, track growth and optimize your strategies. While all this is happening, you got to go back and see how things are being done. I mean, visitors are coming but they're not spending much time. Okay, let me go and make these changes to my website. In that way, you need to look into each one of these and optimize your strategies. Do something so that it performs much better. So these are various steps. So the entire phases of business over web is into two sections. The one is the setup phase and the second one is the marketing phase. Setup phase is nothing but setting up the platform, ensuring that your website is done and it is visible and all this. Marketing phase is nothing but doing marketing so that people get to know about your business and they come back to your business frequently. Now the same is shown here. If you see here, all these steps comes under the setup phase. So if you see domain and hosting, so after your big idea, you're coming and buying a domain and buying a suitable web host. Then website and content planning. So once you have bought a domain and set up the hosting, everything that I'm showing you now, everything will be taught to you, and nothing is complicated. That's the best part with it. You don't need to learn something new. You have to learn whatever is being taught to you. We do not ask you, okay, take up another course and do this thing and such. If you are able to give your best attention towards this program, I'm sure by the time you pass out of this, from this program, from this advanced program, you'll be able to understand the end-to-end approach to digital marketing. Not just that, if you want to start your own business in the online world, you can do that, which is affordable and it's very easy. And if you are looking out for a job, still this is the most appropriate approach. Why? Because you are getting to understand the 360-degree overview of what digital marketing is all about. We are not just training you in just one aspect and putting you into the market. The best part when you know everything about digital marketing is that when you attend interview, you'll be very confident because most of the times you know better than even the interviewer himself. So whatever we are teaching you, everything that I'm talking to you today is a module to you, and that will be taught to you in the best way possible. So initially the domain name and hosting, and then you have website and content planning. So you need to plan your website, and you need to plan the content that will go to your website also. This is quite important. Okay. The next step is the web design phase. So people might think that, oh, what is there in web design? I think it's pretty easy. Why people are talking about this web design thing? So web design is something that you should emphasize about. You should stress about, because when people come to your website, your brand is introduced to them there. Okay, so your website creates that first impression to your customer. You might see various brands outside, you might have heard about them now, but let's say you go to their website and everything looks shabby. Will you be convinced with that? The moment you go and everything is shabby, I'm sure you will most probably get a negative impression about the website, about the brand, because, oh, I've heard about this brand so much outside, but I go to their website and it's very average. Isn't it? Your website is a doorway to your business in the online world. That's what we call it. People will recognize your business by your website only. So ensure that every website, a website that is created for your business, or if you are working in any client, for any client tomorrow, your marketing starts from your website. Because you might do all the marketing activities, but finally you get your visitors to the website, isn't it? Now let's say you're doing marketing for a grocery store. Okay, and you're doing all the marketing. Finally what happens, someone comes to the grocery store, and the moment they enter the grocery store, let's say everything is shabby, nothing is organized, people are not there to help, your entire marketing is wasted, because people are leaving after that, isn't it? So this is a reason why we say web design has to be given the most important, most highest priority of all. Because when people come to the website, that is how they start recognizing your brand, they start respecting your brand, because your website builds that impression for your business. Then comes usability. Okay, usability is nothing but making it easy for them. That means how easy is your website to use. Because when someone comes to your website, if you give them a tough challenge, like go find out what where is, they wouldn't be open for the challenge. The moment you make it tough for them, they quit. This is the reason why you yourself, you might have gone to the XYZ website. After you go to the website, you didn't find what you are looking for. Let's say you want to buy a mobile charger. Okay, you search for some keywords on Amazon, but the search didn't fetch the charger that you're looking for. Now what happens next? You open a new tab, you open Flipkart, you open eBay, you open Snapdeal. You do not spend more time trying to look where the product is, you simply go to your alternative, isn't it? The same will happen for most of the businesses. You have to ensure that when a visitor is coming to your website, you have to ensure that he is exactly finding what he is searching for. This is very important, and this is what we call as usability. Usability is nothing but making it easy for them. That means the website is designed in such a way that when a visitor is coming to the website, he exactly finds what is he looking for. Simple as that. Let's say you talk somewhere, you put an ad somewhere saying that we have this product at 30% off only today when you use this coupon. When they come to the website, he should exactly see that. When he exactly sees that, he will just connect that, okay, I've seen this ad and that the offer is here, let me go ahead. But you take him to a website, now you tell him, okay, now you search where my deal is. He wouldn't even wait, he will just go to the next tab. Okay, then comes keyword research. Like I've told you, identifying what kind of keywords your most probable customer might be searching to reach out to you. And then next comes something known as on-page optimization. Whatever keywords you have identified, you have to ensure that these keywords are added to the website. That is why we call on page. On page means on the website. You have to add all these keywords to the website, because search engine like Google, Yahoo, all this, they do not see your website like a website. They see the code on your website and then understand your website. When you add these keywords to the back end of the website or the code of the website, they get to understand that your website is relevant to so and so business. For example, like the typical red bus example that we are talking about, I see that I add keywords like bus tickets Hyderabad to Bangalore for red bus. Okay, so when someone is looking for bus tickets Hyderabad to Bangalore, Google understands from the code of redbus that okay, this website has a similar offering, or this website has a solution for a search, and that's when it shows to him. So that phase is known as on page optimization. Now next comes content optimization. Content optimization is nothing but whatever website Google is showing to you. When you click the website and come back to the website, you should find the same content on the website also. Now let's say, like I've told you, digital marketing, online marketing, internet marketing are different terminologies that are used for the same digital marketing education. Now let's say someone searches for online marketing education and Google shows him some XYZ website. And when he comes to the website, he will see the term internet marketing and digital marketing, but not online marketing. So what he thinks, oh, I've searched for online marketing, but here it is talking about digital marketing and internet marketing, which is other type of marketing. He might just leave the website. So what I should do is I have to ensure that if he clicks online marketing, when he comes to the website, he should see the same. Online marketing, internet marketing, or digital marketing are the same terminologies for digital marketing education. So he gets his perception clear that okay, I'm at the right page now. Getting it? So this is known as content optimization. You have to ensure that the content that you are using and the keywords that you have identified are in sync with each other. Okay. The next one is competitor analysis. Competitor analysis, like I've told you, learning from your competitors, identifying your competitors, and for this there are some kind of tools that should be used. Tools when it comes to the web, that web is nothing but online resources. Okay, for example, you want to search something, Google is a tool that you are using. Okay, you want to design something, Photoshop is a tool that you are using. So in the same way, competitor analysis tools are there. If you use those tools, you will just have to enter the keywords and the competitor analysis tool will automatically identify the keywords for you. Sorry, the competitors for you. And then comes web analytics. Like I've told you, web analytics already. So it is a setup to understand the user's behavior on the website. Right? So all this comes under the setup phase. So if you observe this chart, you are nowhere marketing. You are only setting it up. That is why we call it as setup phase. Because without doing all this, if you go to the market, and that means go and market your product, they will come, but they would find that something is missing. Everything is here is important, isn't it? A domain name is important, hosting is important, website content is important, content planning is important, website design is important, usability is important. Everything that is here, everything and anything that is here is quite important for a business to succeed in the online world. So if you do not do this and if you start marketing, people come to your website and they would find that something is incomplete, which affects in a big way. Then let's go to the marketing phase. The marketing phase, now that your setup phase is over, now you can go to the market and you can start attracting your target audience. So there are various channels like social media marketing, search engine optimization, paid advertising, email marketing, mobile marketing. These are some of the most popular ways to market your business in the online world. So for example, social media marketing. This is one of the most recent ways to market your product in the online world, but it is one of the most efficient ones also. Why? Because using social media, you will be able to reach out to your target audience on the most popular social networks. Like some of the social networks are Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google Plus, YouTube, Instagram. All these are most popular social networks. So if your target audience are on social networks, then you have to market your business in social media. Okay. The second one is SEO. I'm sure most of you by now know what SEO is. SEO stands for search engine optimization. That means you are improving your website for search engines. That means when someone is searching for your business on search engine like Google, your website is visible on top of it, isn't it? Let's say you want to travel again, or you want to buy groceries online, Big Basket will be on top. So Big Basket is favored by Google. Google thinks that Big Basket is the most apt business listing for this kind of search. So when someone searches for something, Big Basket shows up, and most of the people click that on the first, second, or third listings and go to their website. So the advantage with SEO is that when there is a need, people go to search engine. Okay, so it is need based. But the disadvantage is that there are lots of businesses that are doing SEO already. Now let's say you want to optimize your website for bus tickets Hyderabad to Bangalore. There are so many agencies, ticketing portals, not just Redbus. So if you want to come on top, it will take a lot of time, because Google won't even give you any kind of significance or any kind of importance if it has to bring your website to top. Okay, so you have to do a lot of practice, you have to do a lot of best practices that Google has identified, so that your website is visible on the top list, right? And then, okay, and then you have paid advertising. Paid advertising is another way of generating visitors to your website. But the advantage with paid advertising is that you don't have to wait like SEO. In SEO, you have to wait a lot of time, because you have to overcome your competitors and come to the top. But when it comes to paid advertising, you don't need to do that, because you're basically throwing some paid ads. That means you're telling to Google that, okay, I can't wait until my website shows up on the top listing by crushing my competitors. So instead, what I will do is I will spend some money, and I will I'll pay some money to you and show my ads to them when people are searching for it. A good example that I can give is, let's say you are into some seasonal food business. Let's say you are into mangoes, let's say, because mangoes is very seasonal. So you want to sell mangoes. So if you do SEO, what will happen? SEO will have a lot of competitors. So, and mango season is only 4, 5 or 6 months, isn't it? So if you want to sell mangoes, and if you start SEO now, it will probably take 1 year by the time your SEO is visible. Your product is visible on search engine, and your mango stock will all go off. So what you can do is go for paid advertising. So here you tell to Google that, okay, please, I can't wait so long until my website comes to the top listing. So instead, show my ads when someone is looking for mangoes, and return every time someone clicks my ad, I'll pay you for every click. So that's what paid advertising is. So every time someone clicks, when someone searches for mangoes, Google will charge the advertiser. Okay, so the advantage is that it is very quick, but the disadvantage is that it is very expensive, because every time someone is clicking, Google is charging them. In SEO, it is very slow, but it is very economical, because via SEO, you are not going to pay anyone anything. But via paid advertising, you have to pay, because your ads are visible. Clear? The third one is email marketing. Via email marketing, you are basically communicating to your most probable customers or your existing customers with your product information. Email marketing is not sending out mass emails to people. That is not the right ethical way of doing email marketing. If you are sending out emails to people without their permission, it is known as spamming. You should always take users' permission and then only send them emails. For example, if you sign up for Amazon, let's say, when you sign up initially, they will ask you for name, email, and then they will ask you to create a password, and they will also ask re-enter a password. After that, they will give you two options. One is I agree to the terms and conditions, and then the second box is I agree to receive promotional emails from this brand. So when you click that tick, check box, then only they have the permission to send you a promotional email. And then even after you check, you'll receive a message saying that a verification is sent to your inbox, mailbox, please verify it. So you go there and you again verify it. That is when you are giving them permission to your mailbox also. Getting it? So until you get these permissions, you shouldn't be sending them any kind of email. That's why it's known as permission based email marketing, we call it. It is the most ethical way of doing email marketing. Nowadays, if you're sending out mass emails, people will only think, how did he get my email? Nothing more than that. Getting it? So there are some best practices that have to be followed so that you can consolidate the emails of the people who are willing to buy services, or who is at least is interested in your service. And then comes mobile marketing. Mobile marketing is nothing but using mobile as a medium to reach out to your target users, because nowadays people use mobile phones very extensively, isn't it? I mean, even think about yourself. You might be lazy to open your laptop, but if it's a mobile, you don't have to do anything. Simply, get started. So mobile is a great way to communicate with your customers because it is always with them. That's the reason why you get a lot of deals always from KFC or Coffee Day. All these people send a lot of messages. Mostly they send a lot of offers, isn't it? So all these, what we are talking about, are various channels that we can use to promote your business in the online world. And social media is the most dominant one these days. Why? Because social media is is built by a friend approach, we call it. Because everyone is on social media because their friends and family are there. Now let's say you want to watch a movie and you just post it, on your wall, that, hey, I want to watch a movie this weekend, can someone recommend me a movie? So one of your friends says, why don't you watch this movie that is there? But you want to watch a movie, so some XYZ movie, because it has got the highest ratings on Book My Show. Let's say Book My Show gives 75% rating or 83% rating for a movie. But when you ask to your friend says that is a bakwas movie, don't go for it. Instead, you go for this movie. This is a very nice movie. I'm sure you will be trying to watch the movie that your friend has recommended than what Book My Show has recommended, isn't it? The same happens in social media. In social media, brands try to enhance their brand presence by influencing the social crowd, so that when you want to look out for something, your friends or family suggest you the same. Okay, so social media is built on trust. You trust someone, you trust your friend, you trust a brand. That's why you want to buy it. So we have exclusive session for each one of these. Anyways, in social media itself, we talk about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Google Plus. In SEO, we talk about all the practices. In paid advertising, we'll talk about how to do paid advertising on Facebook, how to do paid advertising on LinkedIn, and also how to do paid advertising on Google. Okay, each one of these that you're seeing now, everything will be a module that will be taught to you, so that you have a 360 degree approach to digital marketing. The same is seen over here. This is a complete overview of what I've seen, what I've shown you. Up to here, it is a setup phase, and this is a marketing phase. And finally, you'll find this little thing known as smart tools. Smart tools is nothing but, as an agency, our job is to identify and research for the smartest ways to get things done over web, because we have limited resources, and we have to generate maximum output out of it. So we look out for some tools, techniques, and approaches which will help us in generating more from less. So that is what we call a smart tool. So we have a session, smart tools, also, so that by the time we finish of the program, you get to understand what are the tools that you can use to generate more. Right? Now, what are the benefits of taking up this program? So this program will help you start your own business online. If you have an entrepreneurial mindset, if you have a different way of looking at things, if you're thinking about starting your own business at some point from now, this education will completely help you do so. Then scale up in your existing career. So for example, you are enthusiast about learning marketing, but you are learning still the traditional way of marketing. You're doing the traditional way of marketing. Let's say your father has a business or your uncle has a business, and they're still doing the regular way of marketing. You can completely help them by showing them the opportunities in the digital world. Helps you find a suitable, rewarding job. There are lots of opportunities available, especially in all the growing cities. I'm sure Vijayawada would be soon be attracting a lot of international companies. So especially these international companies, they have a very strong foothold in the digital space. So this will certainly help you. I'm sure you will be the first set of team who would be learning so much about digital marketing that you will be able to find a spot there pretty easily than anyone else if you are able to get the most out of these sessions. Then make money working from home. There are lots of people who are working traditionally in offices, and still they generate alternative channel to generate revenue. That means don't think about the easy ways to make money. I'm completely against it. I'm talking about doing some kind of freelancing, helping some kind of startups, taking some kind of specific job roles and doing it from home. That is what I say, working from home and making money, right? And not just that, digital marketing program will help you understand this is the hottest trend in the world today. People are starting their business in the online world and they're making lots of money, but a lot of people do not have a clue of how to make this money. Okay, or how some XYZ startup is making money. They do not even understand how that is done. So digital marketing, learning this session, learning the program will help you completely understand how a business shapes up in the online world and how you can start your own business. Or if you are working for a startup tomorrow or a small business tomorrow or an enterprise level business tomorrow, you will be able to understand the 360 view of how digital marketing works. You will be able to understand the functioning of all the teams in the digital space, not just one, right? So these are the complete modules that we are going to teach you in this entire curriculum. And this is nothing but the chart that I've shown you before. Every module that I was talking about is a session here. And this program is completely prepared with a specific mindset. We have created this program based out of our learning experience with various consulting companies from the last 7 to 8 years. So we have been consulting a lot of small, mid and big sized brands. So we had our own learning curve. So everything that we have learned is something that we have converted into this program. So you will understand everything that is essential for you to find a suitable job in the outside world when you go out. It could be any job pertaining to digital marketing. I'm sure if you are able to absorb this program, you will find your seat there. It will be a very rewarding one. So before we conclude for today's session and go with the subject from tomorrow, I want you people to know some rules of this game. I mean, I'm calling this a game because I don't want it to sound like just another classroom program. Okay, digital marketing is fun, digital marketing is interactive, and at the same time digital marketing also educates you and gears up to your next level. So few things that I would like to tell you so that you can make the most out of this program. First thing is, don't skip sessions. If you can see there in the chart that I've shown you, circles, every circle is interconnected. If you miss a session, there would be a possibility that you wouldn't understand the next one clearly. I want each one of you, if you are serious about this, don't take this as a certification program. Take this as a program for your future. Give it a try. And if it works, I'm sure you're going to do something that you would love doing. Don't skip any session. Make the most out of this program. Attend every session, because every topic is interconnected. The output of the first one will be the input of the second one. And the output of the second one will be the input of the third one. That is how all the sessions are interconnected. Second thing, practice at home. Spare 60 minutes every day. Digital marketing is not just a classroom training approach. The classroom training will teach you only some aspects of digital marketing. You need to learn and inculcate how to do research to get more information, because digital marketing evolved almost 20 years back. Okay, and if you want to get all the updates, whatever has happened in the last 20 years, you need to spend a little more time. You don't have to spend the next 20 years, but I'm sure you need to spend a little time. So when you go back home or during your lab sessions or whatever, please pull out some time to practice it. I would say at least 30 to 60 minutes. All that you need to do is, after the session, go back and open this PPT, go through it and see whatever was taught in this webinar. Okay, and try to identify if there is something that is of your interest. Identify those keywords, go to Google and search for them. This is all you need to do. Basically, you are going back and brushing up your basics, and then you are also searching from Google and trying to get more about the session. Okay, these two if you do, you'll be able to ask me more questions the next day. So feel free to shoot all your questions to me. There is a chat box, and apart from it, I'll be communicating my email address, so you can communicate there. And we have something more as well, which when we want to ensure that each one of you, whatever questions you have, those are attended. Even one of us, if not me, maybe one of us will be coming to your place also to help you in answering all your queries. So whenever you get any doubt, you have multiple ways to get them clarified. Okay, then don't shy, write questions to us. You got any question, don't hesitate to ask to us. This is a training session, that means you can ask us anything and everything. Don't think about, oh, this is very silly, what if I'll ask what he will feel. You can completely keep that thing off the conversation, because we are someone who love digital marketing. We are passionate about it, and we'll be willing to teach you at any given point of time anything you want. Okay, then ask again. If you do not understand, get it clarified, because like I've told you again, every session is interconnected. We have a session and you don't ask me a question, you skip it for later, I'm sure you will skip it forever after that. You wouldn't even be able to get it. Okay, so ask your questions again and again. Grab an opportunity to participate in conversations. So when we come there, probably during the mentoring sessions, there'll be various scenarios when you have to participate. You have to keep one thing in mind, that marketing is all about communication. It's about communicating a marketing message. And if you have to communicate a marketing message, the first thing that you need to do is you need to talk. Talk and express. If you're unable to talk and express, no one would be able to hire you. You should be able to talk and express. In that method, you will be communicating whatever is in your mind. So grab an opportunity to speak always. Digital marketers are those people who can talk and who can express. Okay, so feel free to, whenever there's a conversation, feel free to communicate. This is very important, right? And so if you already know something, please contribute. So if you know something around those topics that we talk, some kind of conversations, some kind of case studies, anything you have, please feel free to share with us on the platform. Okay, so with this we almost end this session. We'll be communicating an email to where you can write your questions, or we'll make it much easier. We'll create a unique Facebook group for this program. So I will communicate what the group name is, and it will be a closed group. That means only you people who get invitations, only they can see and they can join it. Once you join the group, you can have all your questions to us. I'm sure everyone here is on Facebook. Okay, and the coordinator there, if this is if someone is not there, I would ask them to please create one. If you do not have an account on Facebook, create an account on Facebook, and we'll join the group that I will be communicating. Everyone please join that group. Even we'll be there in that group. So anyone has any kind of question, you can quickly get in there and probably write your question to us, and we'll be able to answer it back for you. Okay, so I'm sure I'm going to end the session here. I'm sure the session was good and communicative. You're able to learn at least out of it, right? You should be able to understand the entire flow. And from tomorrow onwards, we'll take it to the next level. We'll talk about the topics that I've shown you, every topic. And like I've told you, please don't skip any sessions. And one more thing that I want to tell you is, if you have some kind of business ideas, if you have some kind of business ideas, please think about those business ideas and write it down. Okay, while we do this program, you can actually convert your ideas into reality. So please keep that in mind. Please note down your business ideas, and tomorrow there'll be a situation when I'll be asking for you, exactly tomorrow. Okay, maybe if you have some business ideas, please keep them ready, because we can work around your business ideas also. And people who are looking out for a job, absolutely fine. People who are looking out for a job, this program will get you geared up for everything. Okay, and one more thing, hope this session was communicative. Hope each one of you have understood. I have been the best as possible for myself. I do trainings. I give guest sessions. I'm an entrepreneur by myself. Okay, and I do a lot of talks, but very few I do online. I would love to keep one-on-one interaction with everyone. Okay, so I'm trying to be slow as possible, as communicative as possible. So this session, hope this session is very clear, and this is how all the sessions further would also be. Okay, I'll try to communicate about the Facebook group so that each one of you can join. Okay, I'm also getting these PPTs in the backend so that everyone can access it. Not just this, all the PPTs, all the sessions that we'll be taking, you'll be able to get access to all those PPTs from your backend. Okay, that's how it would be. If you guys have some kind of if you think something is not clear, please talk to me. Please text to me. Okay, please connect with your coordinator, and via him they will certainly get back to us. Okay, and if the Facebook group is done, certainly you can communicate there also. Right, hope this session was informative, and thank you for being available. And I'm hoping that you guys are not missing any session, and I'm sure this is going to be rewarding for you. This few days, next 20 to 25 days that we are going to spend, it will be a great deal for you. It'll help you out in a big way. Okay, thanks again, and have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow at 1:30 again. Till then, bye. Take care.